Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Gengar Purple in my cup 55, and today we're going to be talking about mix-up characters. I'm going to try to keep this one short with a lot of information, so if you're new getting information from this, make sure to listen up, and if you happen to be most of my audience, which already knows what I'm talking about, and like just wants to talk about fighting games, then I mean, hey, you guys can listen up too, but just enjoy, I guess. Right off the bat, mix-up characters is kind of a little sub-genre of rushdown characters, which we talked about an entire other video if you want to check that out. But mix-up characters kind of spawned from that, and I'm going to talk about a concept real quick before we actually get into mix-up characters as a whole. This is a similar situation to when I made the footsie characters video, and someone in the comments pointed out that I should probably clarify the terminology at the beginning because it will make more sense to all sorts of players. So mix-up is a term that can apply to all characters. Mix-up is just being able to mix up your opponent with different options and making them guess, resulting in you getting a hit. Every character has some form of mix-up to an extent, but again, like with the footsie characters, there are characters that I think definitely qualify as specialists in this archetype, and you'll see more what I mean as I explain it. One thing we should get out of the way real quick is a type of mix-up that a lot of characters in fighting games play. People like Kai from Guilty Gear do this. Actually, pretty much everyone does that, and that's strike throw mix-up. This is when you're making your opponent guess if you're going to press a button or if you're going to throw them. A lot, and I mean a lot, of characters in fighting games result around the strike throw game plan, but that is not, well, that is a mix-up. It's not what I'm going to classify as a mix-up character. For example, again, Kai from Guilty Gear, very strike throw character, but far from a mix-up character, as you'll see very shortly. No, mix-up characters are characters that make it pretty much an entirely guess on the opponent's part what they have to press, and if they guess wrong, then they're eating half their health bar or more. Mix-up characters are the ones that like to get up in your face, just like rushdown characters, but it's really a guessing game with these characters. You guess right, then you're fine. You guess wrong, and it's a big payday for the mix-up characters. You might initially think and be like, well, Knight, Mr. Guy, you talked about pixies in another video, and you talked about rushdown guys. Wouldn't these all just be mix-up type guys? Don't pixies mix people up? Don't the set play guys mix people up? Isn't that also a thing, like Milia? And yeah, you're right, actually. Milia is 100% doing a lot of mixing up, and so is people like Seth from Undernight. But here is the key difference and what defines a mix-up character, and if there's one thing you're going to take away from this explanation, this would be it. A mix-up character is different from a vortex character. So you see, the thing with Milia, for example, we'll use her, and other set play characters of that type, is they're doing a mix-up from a state of extreme advantage. As we talked about in the set play video, Milia is doing her thing off of Oki. She's knocking you down, setting up a very nasty wake up, and doing her mix up from there, and then trying to loop it. Set play characters, vortex characters, all those sorts of things, the reason that they're not necessarily, well, they are mix up characters, but they're not the ones I'm talking about, there's a bit of a difference here, is because those are characters that are doing their mix up from extreme advantage state. That is kind of their entire game plan. The characters I'm talking about, I'll give you the prime example right now. Boom! El Fuerte, Street Fighter 4. These are characters that are mixing you up from pretty much just getting in your face, and boom, you have to guess. There's no state of advantage. They just do this naturally all the time, and there's also very little distinguishment. It's like a true 50-50 with these characters. El Fuerte, for example, has this move called the something dash. I really forgot the name, I'll be honest with you, but from this dash, he has a bunch of different options, but you truly have to guess here. All of the dashes have the exact same animation. The dash is always the same, but the option he picks will be different. He can do overhead, low, go ready to throw. He can do pretty much everything here, and you just have to guess. If you guess wrong, well, and sorry, buddy, but I'll play a montage in the background of some El Fuerte clips, but this is truly something you have to guess. Unlike Milia, who wants a hard knockdown, and then she goes into her pressure, someone like Fuerte is just constantly making you guess, and it's really annoying, actually. He's just boom, bam, left, right, up, down, overhead, low, grab. It's everything with these type of characters, and these are the characters that I'm talking about. Characters that are always in a way to mix you up. They don't need a knockdown. They don't need a setup. They are just always making you truly guess. Not certain things that are kind of reactable. Take something that's similar to El Fuerte, which would be like Slayer in Strive. Well, yeah, he does have a stance that goes into an overhead, whatever. They're somewhat reactable. You don't really have to could truly guess if you're super locked in. For some of them, like a little bit, but you don't really have to guess. El Fuerte, you need to guess correctly, or brother, it is wraps against this character. So we've talked about Fuerte a lot, but what are some other examples of mix-up characters in fighting games? Well, Fuerte, again, is the golden boy. Characters like Hwarong in Tekken, Elfelt in Exerd, that was a crazy one, Valkenheim in Blaze Blue, Philia in Skullgirls. If you want to learn how to play mixed up, go watch the Kill Sage play some Philia and Skullgirls. That'll teach you pretty much everything you need to know. And even to some extent, Seth in Undernight, but again, I'd classify him more as a pixie. He's kind of everything. That's kind of why Seth's good. But other than that, those are some pretty ones that are infamous, I guess you could say. There's a lot of mix-up characters in fighting games, so you won't have any shortage trying to find them if you want to pick them up. But just know, again, the difference here is characters that are more set play-y or vortex-y, they need some sort of setup. They want to pressure you from their advantage, and they want to push their advantage till the victory. Again, Milia, she wants a knockdown, then she'll set up, then she'll hit you with the 69-way mix and call it a day. Someone like Fuerte, someone like Philia, they're running in, and brother, you are coin tossing into I win this round or this round is cooked. There's really no in between. So again, everyone can play mix-up to an extent, but there are some characters that really specialize in it's a mix-up. It's a 50-50 guess, and that is mostly what certain people are talking about. There's a that's why we kind of distinguish vortex, set play, and mix-up, so it's a little bit less confusing instead of just saying mix-up and referring to all of them. So I wanted to explain that for newer players in case they hear the term and it's kind of jumbled with all the other ones. I'll try to make a video on maybe vortex characters at some point in the future, but that should do it. This one really isn't too hard to explain. If there's anything else you guys want to see, please let me know in the comments. You better mix up that subscribe button, make it guess high-low when you go to tap it, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and of course, as always, have a good night.